So what that teaches us is being liked, or in order to be liked, I must stay small. I can't be too loud. I can't be too opinionated. I can't express myself. I can't be myself, because then that leaves me open to being judged, leaves me open to being vulnerable, right? And that's what I call the likability trap. We're often taught that our values are, or what determines our worth as a human being, as a female, is being how much we're liked, how much we're being chosen, and how easy we are to be around. Like, imagine walking around in your life operating like that. My value and my worth on this planet is determined by how many people like me, how often I'm being chosen, and if people say that I'm easy to manage and easy to be around. Right? So the opposite of that is we then feel that being confident and being who we are and owning who we are feels risky, because if I step outside the box of that criteria, people might not like me. A lot of us, unfortunately, would rather be liked than respected. And a lot of the time that means we lose our confidence and we lose who we are. We lose who we are because we are dulling ourselves down to not seem too much. And again, this is coming from relationships, being shut down in friendships, even being overlooked constantly or criticized at work. Okay. And how many of you from uneducated people have been really confident in a moment, and then people mistake it as having an attitude? Like, sorry, I was actually just trying to communicate how something made me feel. No, you're ungrateful. You have an attitude, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, cool, noted. I need to tone that down. I won't speak up again. I need to tone it down to be accepted. And this fear of standing out, I have a few people in my head when I talk about this, and it's really sad because I know so many people that are so energetic, bubbly, they are silly, goofy, like they put on voices, we dance around, like just so full of life in secret, like with maybe the girls or even just with me in private. But when we are out in social settings, it's like a very different version of that person comes forward. And I know you're all probably having someone in mind in your life, or it's possibly you when I talk about this, right? It's like, yeah, you kind of behave very differently when we're around other people, because they want to be perceived as a certain type of themselves. Because if they go to that dinner goofy, cracking jokes, possibly they're a little loud in quotation marks, those people won't like them anymore, right? So we have this fear of standing out, this fear of being ourselves. Confidence is naturally going to make you more visible. And that might sound scary to people because they're like, oh, well, I don't want to be seen. That means I have to be vulnerable. Like, that means you're not confident. But when you're a confident person, you're like, yep, here I am. Like, you're taking up space in the world unapologetically. And you don't give a fuck what people think if they see you, because you're like, doesn't matter what you have to say or think, because I know I'm awesome. That's why I'm showing up this loud and proud. And that's why I'm trying to stand out, because I'm like, here I am. Look how awesome I am. Right? Because if you don't have the confidence to do that or say that or show up like that, that's where it brings out the fear of that judgment, criticism, jealousy from others, the arrogant people, and just that fear of being misunderstood, you know. And that comes from people that constantly compare ourselves.